All right, here's part two. Me dying, perfect. All right, so okay, so you potted from here. I believe they hot dropped. You guys went to Kingdom. Let me take a sip of my drink real quick. Uh-huh. So here's the thing. With the quick drop now, how you can fly to the ground. This didn't used to be a thing. It used to take people longer to get to the ground. You had more time. The pods are slow. These guys are dropping super fast, collecting stuff, and they're hitting this wall before you even have two backpacks. You have to know that. That just is like a thing now. The cool thing about, and I try to explain during the game with the kingdom here, is you have this wall, okay? It's got all these little pillars, lots of places to hide. I mean, you got loot galore. You can easily drop down, grab a banana, grab some shield, climb back up. You got holes to shoot out of. This is a goddamn fortress. Even more so, look out here, open land. There's some hardcover, but at some point, you're in the open. I mean, it's a moat out here. It's a great place to defend. The hard part is it's huge, right? And you can't watch all the sides. What happens if someone comes in from behind? Probably not, because they're going from Metro towards Cemetery. Someone's dropping in Metro. Oftentimes, both teams drop in Metro. One goes for the immediate drop. The other one goes for the gun store. Every once in a while, someone pushes into the park, or they go to Cemetery. So, with a good grain of salt, you know no one's over there in like by the saloon and stuff like that. So you really don't have to defend this sidewall in the front. Now the key to keeping Kingdom is someone has to be not very selfish, and they need to drop, grab some guns, and hop up on this wall. Start shooting, start watching, letting them know that they're not just going to go move through here straight up into Kingdom, that you guys are ready. Again, they don't know how many people are shooting at them. As soon as they see one person shooting, they just assume everyone's doing work over here. You know, they're aware of where they're at. Let's play this while this happens. Let's actually move ahead. So, but everyone else is just, you're kind of just looting. No one's on the front wall here. Someone should be here watching, shooting. That makes them rotate around more towards the plains route and try to get around in front of you in hopes that the zone pushes you out of Kingdom and they have a good position on you, which definitely happens. If that does happen, you can rotate this direction. You know no one's to your right because everyone came from Metro towards Cemetery. No one's flying over Metro to the western area. That's just not happening ever. So, but you need to establish this front wall and try to push them back at least into plains, and then maybe even come out into plains and establish just an exit strategy should the zone push you past that first wall. That doesn't happen here. Frank, I like Frank being here on this wall. He finally gets to this wall. Someone's finally coming over and looking at these guys. Where are they? What are they doing? This person's rotating around into plains, which is what I would do, but it's too late. It's too late. Lewis and whoever this guy is, they're already here. This is where you should be batting them back. They would have gave up. They don't have a lot of builds. They just, looted real quick. They probably got 20 builds. They're not going to waste them all trying to get to this rock and get to you. But you got to be putting shots on them here, which would force them back behind the wall over into this hard zone and, hold them back. That doesn't happen. Why? Because everyone's right down here looting under the wall. No one sees them. He's going to make his way up here. And then that just really opens it up. And no one's on this front wall. I mean, someone's got to be up in the front wall holding it out. This is a bunch of open area. And again, kills, damage are great. But that's not really the goal here. The goal is don't die and hold your position. Most of the kills and most of the damage occurs in the last 10% of the game. because the zone is the smallest. So you really just kind of got to establish your position early on. Again, that's, you know, things change, but in this scenario, you guys are, I think you're just really trying to be stacked up here, which is typically good, but you can't be stacked up when you're trying to own kingdom. Kingdom's a large thing. You got to be willing to spread out and take some high positions here and really say, hey, this is our area, and it's hard to get in here if we're all spread out. But it is quintessential that nobody dies. You know, again, the number one thing is to not get kills. It's not to get damage. It's just don't die. Because if you die, now you have a hole, and they'll make their way in. All right, let's zoom ahead. These guys get to the rock, like we said. You guys are established on this wall. Everyone's way tight. Here comes someone in here. There's someone coming over here, and I think someone even makes it around the back of you here. And then you're just surrounded. You guys are close, but you're like a ball, and you just let them. Yep, see here, like now you're totally surrounded. You got someone on the left. Lewis is pushing in the middle. Randy's got a nice peak point here. You got someone out front. No shame in your game here to grab the top of this here or move back. I mean, you have some zone here to notice like Kingdom has been disrupted and all the fortification is towards plains. The walls all face plains. And once they get on the side of you, it's like a lane. It's free. You need to get on the other side of that wall and find some other vantage point. Yeah. You got to retreat here, I think. And you don't. That doesn't happen. Get in the house. I mean, they're just wrapping you. Look at them wrapping you. There's one here. No one's escaping out the back. You got two guys. Loomis is just coming around the side. And now you're on the run. And on the run is just a slow, painful death. And that's what happens here. Yep. I mean, at that point, once they broke through here, you either have to attack them and say, nah, this is our rock, and really rotate around and get on the other side of that rock. Because if you can get someone in the front here and someone on the left, you can keep them off that rock. Or you got to retreat, cut back into plains, and then try to establish maybe over here by Rainbow Rock or something like that and kind of give up the position they made it in there. But, you know, that's game 3. So let's move on. Okay. All right, let's look at this one here. Is this you guys? Let's see here. Okay, McAllister. Okay. And I'm going to assume you guys didn't hot drop. I think you came from over here. So you must have thought Kingdom won't work out for us. Let's go all the way. That's fine. Just pause it here. I think that's what happened. You guys went all the way. They dropped in front of Melons. They said, we're not going across plains to get them. We're going to go Metropolis. So let's see what happens here. No one around. Okay, hold on. Let's look here. Okay, I remember this one. Let's go back, sorry. Okay, so you guys are here in Observatory. We get our first closure, which is this red one here. You move out here. I like this move. You establish this. You should be expecting that these guys at Hot Drop to be in plains, and you're going to be fighting them. They didn't do that. They dropped here, and they went towards Metropolis. But typically, we'll just say they're going to drop Frontier, kind of diagonally make them their way out here in plains. You're going to see them. You're going to start fighting, and then you're going to go, hey, they have to come to this corner right here. Again, the other people started here, coming across this way. Could there be people in Cemetery? Possibly. But almost every time the first team drops here, and almost every time the second team goes, I'm pushing Gun's door, or they go here. It's a long drive out the cemetery. It happens. It's just rare. So, and if they did, they go to Sandbox. But either way, I think you expect people to be coming across plains here. You see that it's closing. You jump into this spot here, firing on them, grabbing this high ground right here, holding them out, which is kind of what happens. See, this high ground here, I'd grab these establishments here. I don't hate going in here, making sure it's clear and no one's behind you, so you don't come out here and all of a sudden a team that randomly went all the way to the cemetery, even though it's a low probability, comes out of there and then pushes you into a bad spot here into this corner. But KC's in here. He doesn't hear anything. There's no loot taken. You should feel pretty good about it. You got another D player here. You guys really need to run out here. Look at where the zone is here. The zone is here. This is great positioning here. Even on this hill, maybe even it's a little safer here. You should be looking down this direction from these hilltops here. Keeping a little eye on cemetery, making sure no one's sneaking in here. But really, you just have free ground here. No one's running up these hills out in the open very easily. You know, they're sticking behind these walls here, kind of working their way this way. This should be a slow, gradual move across these hilltops here, looking down for free. And you'll see me here. I fly over. This is where you want to be. Looking down here, can I get some free shots, some free points? Easy peasy right here. You know, grab this other one right here. Grab this little top. Watch me drop down here and be like, you have hard cover. All you have to do is back up, you know, move forward. You have all this great ground to just stand here and cause problems. Again, looking, maybe somebody over here checking to make sure, like, hey, we cleared Sandbox. Let's make sure, is there a team over here? I don't see anything over here. There's nothing over here. Everyone's down the hill. If everyone's down the hill, we own the hills. You know, you move out here, you own all of these hills. You own a third of the map right now that's available. And you force these teams to all come and converge here. And if they all get forced into the corner, you fly across here and you just, I mean, they're all going to funnel down in here. This is all low ground, you know? And you almost do that here. It almost works out well for you. See, they're down here. They can sit here for a while, but they're going to have to move out. Where are they going to move? There's only one place to move. It's either straight up the hill, which is devastating because how are you going to get up this hill? And if they go to the left, it's just this big open area. Everyone's going to go to crack houses and try to make it up through crack houses. That's just what's going to happen. That's the only option here. This is the hard cover. Crack houses. These hills are much more close together. This is just a dead zone right here. And it's just not going to happen. Someone's here shooting. I like that. Yeah. And look at this, you know, the street. I mean, they got to cross this street. It's just not good for them, you know? Oh, this is the part where I was like, you know, if you kind of like Tubbs is over here, if he would have moved over here and kind of been looking down towards cemetery, like, hey, is there, you know, you stop right here, go up on this hill, like, hey, is there a team over here? No, make sure no one's doing anything funny business over here. They can't rotate this direction. Even if they were in cemetery, they got buildings, but they're going to cross this open area here. You have free shots at them right here, and you can hold them off. I mean, you basically have a great stronghold over here. Look, I'm showing you the pathway that they have to cross. You're not getting across there and sneaking behind me without me knowing it. I'm either going to see you running across or I'm going to see builds. And one person can kind of monitor that, you know, while the other ones are kind of spread out here. There's no danger. You don't need to be all together. I mean, maybe you're watching for a pin drop, but no one's just going to, like, whole team is not going to sneak up on you straight towards you. You're going to know if they're moving towards you, and then everyone can collapse on them. They really need to spread out here and kind of cover some ground. Looking good right here, taking some shots, I'd be a little careful here that nobody, like, you move a little bit too far left, someone could sneak up behind you here. So you want to be a little careful of that. I think I'd go and check it out. No one's coming, but it is a tiny bit of a concern that someone sneaks up this way through sandbox and comes in here. So I would definitely have somebody sitting over here making sure that does not happen. Then you have someone here, maybe one here, over here, and you just kind of close off this whole area. And look at everyone else. They're just filed in over here. This is going to be a absolute freebie over here. So you guys rotate over. Let's go a little bit too far. You rotate over. I don't hate this rotate. I don't hate it. It's just a little aggressive. I think right in here is where you stop. You do not keep going. Maybe you take this rock. It's nice and high. You can fire down. You got to give them something to run towards. And this is a big open area. The problem is if you spread out too far here, Team A is here, and I believe there's another team on the right. I believe there's still people over here on the right. I think it's a little bit of an overextension here. Let me look back real quick. Oh, yep. It's an overextension. See? So there's Team A, and I think this is Team C right here. D, A. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just you guys. I could be wrong. Oh, let me go back there. Okay. I like how KC's here. I would just kind of keep poking them. And here's what I was thinking. There's no reason to keep moving left because Storm is pushing them towards you. You can stay here right where he's at, fire upon them, and Storm is pushing them towards you. Look at right there. So Storm is, here's KC, I believe it's KC. They have to wrap here, and this is the church, so they got to come out in front of church. Like, people are down here. I just think you just let the Storm push them. Look at this open area here on the left. Free shots. I mean, they're going to waste all their resources here. And I think you guys overextend yourself. See KC move into zone here. I'd like to see that. Giving Sanagas a little bit too much attention. Zone's going to push him. You have this wall here. Let her fly in here. Let her try to come up. You got the wall. I think someone pushes here, which I do not like. You need to establish this corner. Yeah, Frank, not a good push. Sorry, buddy. This is what I was talking about. Like, let the zone push her towards you. She's a freebie. Now look at this peak she has on you. This is not good. I don't even care if you win this battle. It's just not necessary. The Storm is pushing, you know? And you lost. But and look, see, A rotated around. Instead of backing up and being like, hey, even if they get this wall, they still have to come over. And look at no coverage here. There's nothing for them to hide behind. If you grab these little fucking points here, hit the building tops, peek over the edges, like, good luck. They're probably going to have to rotate right. And you can rotate with them, you know. But even look at this, rotate right. Where are you going? You're going nowhere. This really was a gimme for you guys, and I think you just tried to hold them out for too long when really you can kind of hit them, back up, they're dying, hit them, back up, they're dying, and really just kind of notice that here's zone. And they got to be on this side. I mean, there's a little spot here, but someone can kind of last a long time right here just shooting at these people. It's just not necessary. You got to back up and not let them in behind you. But they come in behind, and all of a sudden, now Team A is behind you, and now you guys are pinned, and that's a wrap. That's a wrap. All right, let's look at the next game. So we stop here. Where am I at? This is go. Where are you guys at? I think you guys are farmlands on this one. I think this is you guys in farmlands. Oh, let me look. Yes. So you guys drop farmlands. Nothing to really say here. You're moving forward. I like that red barn for some reason. I really like this barn. I feel like there's a lot of places to go from there. We're moving fine. Nothing too special here. I think I'm talking to somebody. All right. So if this is you guys here, two teams are fighting here. Tower's a little suspect because there's a wall around it. I'm assuming, I don't know. Maybe it came this way. I think it came this way. You guys went all the way to the frontier and then come back this way. Which means the other one started armory. And I would expect a team maybe here. I don't know why they're not there. I'm not sure why. But I would move in, establish your corner, and say, hey, okay, we have a corner here. Kingdom Wall's a little scary. That's a little scary. I might even establish this and then kind of come back and grab here. Don't really like getting close to tower here in this scenario. It's very close quadrants. It's easy to get a lot of action. You kind of wait for them to kind of fight it out and come running out of tower for, fleeing. But you guys, you can move in here. You move in here. Let's see what you guys do. I don't remember. Okay, we're good. We're good. You move in. Okay, I like it. Maybe grab some high ground here. But again, this wall is a little scary. I would definitely be a little worried that somebody would be here, that they flew in and worked this way and are going to come in behind you. Just something to think about. It's right on the wall, and which means that someone can be up here, a team can be up here. I might have rotated kind of like a little one of these and then kind of came back in this way just to be sure nothing was going on there. But not the worst position. Not the worst. Let's see what happens here. You're still good, taking shots at both of these teams. Everything's golden. It's early in the game. Taking some shots. Looks like you guys move forward here. I don't really love the moving forward here. Let's back up here. Let's see. It's okay. I would halt there. That's okay here. Maybe someone back here, kind of forcing them that they know they can't come this way. They're going to flee to the tower, run into Team B. But you really got to keep an eye on Team B, that Team B doesn't get too frisky and come out of here and come around you. So you're just going to kind of slide to the left. Don't go any more forward. Slide to the left, shooting at A. Slide over, keep shooting at B. And remember that Team C is somewhere. I don't know where they are. I was a little worried about that. But I think what happens here is you guys move in a little too close. Yeah, so B comes out. This is where you need to go. Oh, shit. B's trying to wrap on us. Storm's closing. We really need to back up and establish. Everything is moving. All the firing is going that way. A and B need to fire, and we need to get free shots on them. Let's see what happens here. But no, B comes out. A is over here. Let's see what happens there. I don't know where A fucking came from. Oh, Frickle Donuts came all the way freaking somewhere. He rotated all the way around. Oh yeah, he went like a round tower. It's crazy. That's not pretty normal. All right, so you got zone. Let's see here. Okay, zone closes. Now we're in a pickle, right? So zone is closing. You're not in zone anymore. The fight needs to not be the primary focus anymore. Zone is over here. We got Team B trying to wrap over and come in the middle. Team A is on our tails. We need to back up, go to Kingdom Wall or somewhere back here and get in front of them and establish that a corner of the zone. But now the fight is on. everyone's distracted on your team. Everyone's just fighting B, but B has better position. This is no longer a fight for kills and damage. This is a fight for position. Need to rotate now. Gotta move. Look at that. Look at my watch my cursor here. Watch this cursor. I pull it up and I say, you guys are here. You need to move this way. Back, hit the wall, grab this corner right here. And then really, if you own this corner, you own this whole piece right here, right? And then you can easily come across here. But this needs to rotate back here in front, get to the outside. We don't know this guy's here yet, but either way, it's a solo man. You could rotate around. Watch my cursor. I'm like, you need to get to that corner ASAP. Shoot, run, shoot, run. Don't stop. Don't spend any more than a second. It's all about moving, just to shoot and to run, shoot and run. But what happens? People are stopped. People are firing, and they're moving and shooting and getting into better position. That's the problem. See the stop? Everyone stopped. You guys are hanging out on that hilltop there. We need to get right here. This is the spot right here on the corner of the castle, and you can be firing down on them. But you guys are stopped on these rocks, and you're firing at them, and they're moving into position, grabbing all of the good ground. It's hard to do. You know, you start firing, it's easy to be distracted. See how you're staying on the rocks? Here comes the zone. It's burning right behind you. It ain't moving fast, but it's moving, and they're rotating around. And now you're split. Now it's zone is touching your back ends, and now you're like, uh-oh. I think you get lucky here, and they give you this. They back off. I'm not sure why they did that. I would not have given you this. I would have stayed on this rock the entire time and just fired down on you. But they give it to you. That was a gift. They should never have given you this corner. You guys should have gone down right there. But for some reason, they backed off. I don't know why. And that was a mistake on their part. So let's fast forward. It ends up working out for you guys. You guys get into this corner, even though you should not have. B backed up. Not sure why they did that. They let A in. B should have just rotated on you guys, killed you, held A to that corner, and the game would have been over. But, okay, let's zip forward here. Because now things are looking great. B is up in the corner. A has nowhere to come here. You have good positioning here. A and B are going to be fighting. From this point, someone needs to be here. I think there's a white line here, and so someone can stand up here and fire down. Someone else needs to rotate over here, take this high ground here, and there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people just shooting at them. That would have been just free points, free everything. But here is where a little bit of greed happens. Instead of rotating this way and grabbing these high points and just kind of letting them do their own little, fight out while you grab points and kills, maybe even moving up to this point and kind of dazzling with being able to kind of shoot and come back and shoot and come back, kind of little things like that. You guys decide that you're going to rotate around and try to finish them off. It does not work out well.